Hi guys, Terry here. Hey, I'm going to make a birthday card for my brother. He's a big fisherman, so I decided to use these new Divinity Designs dies that I bought just a little while ago, and I thought they would make such a cute birthday card for him. So I searched for ideas for using this set, and I found a really cute one online that had kind of a cream colored card base and then a green jacket, and then I thought that I would use kind of an off-white cardstock for the zipper, and then I thought maybe the bobbins, the fishing gear, would be in blue. So I've got those pulled out. I will say that the card base die comes separately. So it makes this a pricey point here. So I was curious on whether the card base was needed or not. So I'm curious, after I cut out the vest, whether you could simply put that onto a card base and it would be enough. So I'm curious about that. And then I did notice that this die fits just onto an 8.5 by 11 card base. So I've taped it down so it doesn't go off the ends of the card here, but it looks like there's just enough room for it to fit, and that'll make it the perfect size to fit into an A2, standard A2 size envelope too. So I plan to ink around the edges, and then I also got out a couple of embossing folders because I thought it would be neat to add pattern to the, so this one here is just from Cuttlebug, and it just has like a little herringbone on it. I thought I would use that on the card base. And then I liked this one here. This one is from Stampin' Up, and it has just a, I love to use it because it just gives a texture, like it looks like textured cardstock. So I can use my smooth cardstock and put it through here, and it'll just give it a texture. So I got both those out. So let me cut the pieces. Here's the pieces that come with the vest set. The zippers are so cute, and it's got pockets. It's even got the little mesh that goes on top of the pockets. So they've thought of everything for this die set. It's really cute. And then, like I said, the card base comes with a vest piece with it, and the tie and buttons. So I might use the buttons from the set, and then I'm definitely using the card base. So let me get the pieces cut and we'll see how it looks. Okay, I cut the card base, and I will remind you that you need to have the extended plates for this because it is 11 inches long. I have the Sizzix Big Shot Pro, which is the great big long, I think it's 8 by 13 or something, but I have the big long plates, so that worked for me. I cut the card base, and then I ran it through the embossing folder, and this looks really cute. It's my understanding that you fold this on the score lines, so it is a handy die to have. It's got the score lines on it, and it makes it the perfect size. And then it's got the little collar that folds down. I didn't emboss the collar. I don't think you'll notice it on the card, but we'll see there. So I'll glue those down. So that's really cute. I love the texture. And then when it came to texturing the vest, I would suggest that you texture the cardstock before you run it through, because when I cut these and then ran them through the embossing folder, I kind of lost some of the detail on the little vest. Has this little stitching at the top here. So what I did was I just simply re-ran that through the, I just lined the dies up and ran it through again, and I taped it in place. So it's just a small little detail that's there at the top. The stitching lines just add a little something to it. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink around the edges just to make it look like it's a used vest. So I think that'll be good. And then one more tip. When I ran the pockets through, I cut these out of green, And then I also placed the mesh die that's just stinking adorable. I placed that on there, and I noticed that the holes weren't, I'm glad I taped it in place, because I noticed that the holes were not completely cut out. So I ran it through using a scrap piece, and that seemed to really help those holes. Now I got to punch out all those holes, but I think it's worth it because I think it's a really cute design. So I'll have 2 pockets with the mesh, and then I'll run it through again with just the green without the mesh holes on it. So these cards are this, I often wonder whether I need to buy the dies or I could just cut it on my Cricut. And I would say that some of these dies are just so intricate. I don't think the Cricut machine could cut out these little this mesh look on the pocket. So, but I will warn you that this this card is not a quick card. There's a lot of pieces to it. I'm sure that the more I make of it, the faster I'll get with it. And I think when the recipient receives the card, you know, hopefully they're amazed at all the work that went into it. But I think it is such a unique, definitely a wonderfully masculine card. And I tell you what, I have some nieces that love to fish too, so a card like this is coming their way too. So I guess I just want to warn you how much work it is. And you wouldn't have to cut this mesh out, but I think it adds a lot to it. So this smaller one cut out better. And I'm just taking my pick here and popping those pieces out, so it's not too bad. But I do love all the detail they've thought for this card. There's the regular pocket and there's the mesh one. They are just too cute. And there is room for 4 pockets to be on here. So let me just use my brown ink here. And I just want to add a little something to the edges here. I just want it to look a little worn. Inked one and the non-inked one. I think it's just, you know, when it's going to be on top of the card, it's just going to add that much to it. I'll probably ink around the brown too. So for the pockets, I'm simply folding back these little flaps that I'm going to glue it onto the card with. And then I want to ink around the square part of the pocket. I don't want to ink those flaps. I think the reason for having the flaps is just to add all that more dimension to the pocket on the shirt. Just too cute. You could put something in there, like if I wanted to put the fishing lures in there, I think that you could see it from the outside. That's cute too. The pieces are just too cute. I'm going to wait to glue the collar down because I don't know where that's going to fall here, but I'm going to start gluing the little pieces together here. It is amazing the little pieces they've thought of in these dies. These remind me a lot of the Spellbinder dies, where they've got lots of little pieces to put together. The zippers would be pretty cut out of silver or something. I do think that you could have made a regular card base without the shirt collar and just glued the vest onto it, I think it would have been enough detail. The only thing I used from the shirt die other than the card base was the buttons, but I think you could have punched little buttons. These buttons have a little bit of detail on them, but I think you could have just punched round circles using a hole punch. You probably could have also just cut the top of the card and folded these down, but it saves a step. I'm just pushing it down into this bottom corner. And it looks like it fits perfectly on the card base so that the zipper looks like the vest is closed. But what an intricate card. So you can see it has a little bit of dimension because the pockets are folded, the sides of the pockets are folded under. And love how it looks. It turned out really cute. So, oh, and you know what I didn't, let me fold this part here. There we go. So, I think I recommend the card base. I mean, I think if you're going to make wedding cards or something where you would use the vest, just the regular dress, vest and tie, I think it would come in handy. But I could also see where you could just put this vest on the front of a card. I don't know that it needs the shirt collar, but just be aware that it does make the card a little bit shorter. But you know, you could have your sentiment across the top of the card. But I think it turned out really cute. The paper pack, I wasn't a fan of the paper pack. You get 36 sheets, which is a good value. There's 3 of each design, but it's very shiny paper, so I think it would be good for maybe when you're doing dress shirts. But I think you could use just some regular cardstock and put it through an embossing folder. So I guess I don't recommend the paper pack. I do love the fishing vest die set, and I'll have a link to the Divinity Designs website. They are out of Ohio, and I highly recommend this card. I think it's really cute. I think I'll be making, I think I would recommend making them in batch, like when you're getting everything out, just cut a bunch of them, do them in different colors, and make a set of them. But I think it turned out really cute. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.